welcome to another MMA Prospect Watch. This is my second Prospect Watch video. I made my first Prospect Watch video on Harry Webb, and now I'm going to make a prospect on another Australian prospect I'm super high on. So this man's name is George Mangos. He literally just turned 20. He's 3-0 as a pro, 6-0 as an amateur, and this he's just so well-rounded everywhere, man. He's powerful with the hands. He's got, I think he has some sort of Taekwondo background because he does do a lot of spinning body kicks, especially in his amateur fights. He's very powerful with the hands. He mixes up to the body as well, but in his pro career, we haven't really seen much of his striking. He dropped Aaron McConnell, who's a very hyped prospect, who beat Tom Nolan in the amateurs and who was actually training at Jackson Wink. Trained there with Mike Perry and a bunch of other well-known fighters for a couple years. He was 4-0 in combined MMA fights, like pro and amateur, and beat some pretty good guys. Like I said, beat Tom Nolan. Is the only person that has a win over Tom Nolan in amateur or pro competition. And George Mangos just ran through him, dropped him with a very powerful check hook, and then managed to get a real slick back take. Had his back, had him in a choke, and then he found the back, flattened him out, and choked him out cold. It was honestly a great performance on Eternal 76. You can't actually find it if you look George Mangos up on Fight Pass. You actually have to go and find the fight itself, but it was the first fight on Eternal MMA 76, and I recommend going and checking it out. A very impressive performance. Then his fight against Caleb Miller just dominated him there. Got a power guillotine, just genuinely very powerful. This guy's got some real strength in his submissions. Like he has some real powerful grip strength. You can tell because he almost took Caleb Miller's head off. And Caleb Miller's actually bounced back since that. Got a win last weekend, I believe it was, against Sherm Murdoch, who was 1-7, not the greatest guy, but still good win to have. It's good that he's bounced back. He had a really good amateur career as well. And just this guy is someone to really watch out for. He throws a lot of leg kicks. He's very heavy with the leg kicks. I did notice he mixes it up to the body with the hands. Very powerful hands. We haven't really seen too much of his striking though, because this guy's a very powerful grappler. He's got good takedowns. He seems very strong. Like I say, only 20 years old, so his striking is going to improve a lot. But his striking hasn't looked horrible so far. Defensively, he can get a bit reckless when he's going and throwing hands. But most of the time, the guys are a bit scared of his takedowns and the power coming at them that they don't really capitalize on it. But besides, that's the only thing I can nitpick really from what I've seen from his striking is the way he throws a bit wildly. But so far, nobody's really been able to deal with him there. But his takedowns are very fast. He mixes it up very well to the takedowns. Like he doesn't telegraph them. They're not telegraphed at all. He sets everything up really good. Like I say, this guy's only 20 years old, 3-0, 6-0 as an amateur, and he wants to fight again this year. He wants to be active. He wants to go 4-0 this year, and I think he will. I would pick him against most featherweights, and the fact is he's so young, he's going to improve rapidly. That this isn't even the final product, and he's already so good. Like his power alone is gonna just helps him because he is very powerful with his shots. Like it will help set up his takedowns even more. He trains out of a good gym, Lions Den Academy. He's got a few fighters there. Some good regional fighters. Michael Stanoff's another good regional fighter. Very active fighter as well. 3-2, but it seems like he fights like every weekend sometimes. Although he's only fought once this year, but he was fighting so much. So like last year he fought so much. But he has some solid wins himself. But still, this is about George Mangos. It's someone to look out for. If you watch the Australian regional scene, just look out for this guy. I have this guy and Harry Webb as my two prospects to watch out for in the Australia scene. They're the two prospects that I'm certain are going to be going on to like bigger promotions in the future. Like I'm that confident in these two. Just from what I'm seeing, these guys are special on the Australian regional scene, and the Australian scene I reckon is really high level. You know, you'll see a lot of people trash the Australian scene, but look at how good the fighters go and do in the UFC. Like the Australian scene is legit. Like it's generally so legit, and these guys stand out in a legit regional scene. Like that they're running through their opponents, and they're running through good guys like George Mangos. That I can't overstate how good that Aaron McConnell win is. Aaron McConnell is like a legit fighter. Like this guy's really good. He has really good hands, and George Mangos went out there and dropped him, and then beat him in the grappling. He beat him everywhere. And Aaron McConnell, 27 years old, took some time off though. I will say that, but still, he ran through him. And I can't overstate it. Aaron McConnell was legit. If he probably stayed a bit more active, this guy probably would have been in the UFC or something like that. Because this guy was like a legit, like really good prospect, but inactivity hurt him a little bit. I don't know how seriously he takes MMA now, but yeah, he would have been legit if he got some wins together or something like that. He probably could have been on Dana White Contender Series or something, but like that's a really good win for George Mangos. Like he literally didn't make it look close at all. Like he ran through Aaron McConnell. So that's why that's like a really good win right there. Brogan Stewart fought in one. I think he won in one as well. So yeah, he got a rear naked choke on a one card against Preach Prach Buapa. I don't really know who this guy is, if I'm being honest. But yeah, he got a win over him. I think he might have fought. Oh, I don't know. Obviously, this guy was a 15-2 Muay Thai fighter, but you know George Mangos goes out there, standing rear naked chokes him. I put a short up of the rear naked choke. Very weird rear naked choke defense from Brogan Stewart, but George Mangos just has that crazy grip. Like literally, when he gets a rear naked choke in, you're either you're going to sleep because his grip is like just instant. It seems like these guys don't tap in time and they go out. Very brutal, but I just want to see who they match this guy up with next. I don't know if he's going to fight an Eternal, Beatdown Promotions, or Hex, or whatever. I just hope he gets his fourth fight this year because, like, I'll pick him against some of the guys who are already in the like big up in the Australian scene. Like, I'm not going to mention names just in case, but there is a few people I would actually, like I'll mention. I think he would beat Jesse Medina right now. You know, Jesse Medina, former Eternal Champion, I believe. I don't think I'm misremembering. I think he was Eternal Champion at one point. I could be wrong on that actually. But still, good fighter. Beat Jack Jenkins and lost to Jack Jenkins in a rematch, but has some really good wins. Has some weird losses. Like I would generally, I think that George Mangos would beat him. Like I would be very confident in George Mangos in that fight. I reckon. You know, there's a lot of fighters I'd pick him against. Like I think he would. I honestly, I think he would beat like Michael Barber for sure. I'd picking him as Michael Barber. Like yeah, there's just so many fighters I'd pick this guy against already, and just think how much better he's gonna get. Like by the time he actually does get to fight all these guys, he's gonna be so much better in the striking as well as his grappling. But yeah, I'm saying a lot of if buts here, but like generally this guy is like a fucking solid prospect. So keep your eye on him. You know, like that's all I can say. I got a good eye for these talents. I can tell people. I can tell when fighters are at least going to go on to do like achieve big things, or at least make it. You know, to at least make it to Dana White Contender Series. I think he'll beat whoever he goes against, though. Like I'm just. I don't know. There's something about these two guys that I'm hyping up. Like I can just see them beating anyone you put in front of them until they get to the UFC. Then maybe they'll face somebody. But still, I have supreme confidence in these two guys. Maybe I'm being delusional here, but I honestly or biased, but I honestly I think that these two guys are going to go on to achieve great things. So maybe I'll be wrong, but we can only find out in due time. But I think I'm right on the button when it comes to these two. I think these two are going to be great prospects, and yeah, I'm excited to see where they end up in the next few years. But touch wood, I think the two prospects in my two videos I've made so far, I think they're going to go on to achieve big things. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys. Actually, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you give it a like. I really do appreciate it if you give it a like. Let me know if you've watched any of George Mangos's fights, if you've seen him before. Let me know your thoughts on him as a prospect. And yeah, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.